Hello, my name is Ted Robbins, and I'd like to welcome everyone here today to our webinar. Again, we pushed up this webinar about 30 minutes sooner. Appreciate everyone being on here, and it's really going to be exciting because we're going to go through our total social media sales system, and we're going to talk about today on this webinar how to look at an individual business and how to identify how our particular system in general can help them, along with other types of expertise for social media experts that are out there, again, to look at specific signals and things on their specific page and ways that we can help them in general. Because as a social media specialist for individual resellers, it's about being an individual resource for that individual company and being able to point them in the right direction, whether or not you have that application or that tool, 100% of everything that company needs or things that you can complement with that. That's why in these webinars we've talked about different ideas in SEO, we've talked about shopping carts, many different things, and today should be a really great webinar for everyone to be able to view. So what we're going to get started off here today is actually looking at the overall total social media sales system. And if I look through this overall table of contents, we're going to talk about the individual sales tips, cold call scripts, leads for business pages, walk-in scripts, follow-up emails, the ability to look at how to perform an overall analysis for the overall company, talking points, and then the actual form that could be filled out in front of an overall customer, and the social media glossary, and where this particular document is going to come into handy, in very handy for an overall business person. And where this for an overall salesperson, primarily and especially with total social media with our specific product, is that everything in this document basically dovetails the way that we've really taken that elephant and have broken it down into little teeny bites to try to get a business to understand the separate pieces of their overall company and things that are very important and should be very important to them if they're not aware of those individual items. So what we've done is we've taken the beginning of this document and went through sales tips. And I'm not going to go through and read this whole entire document, but I'm going to just again highlight some of these individual points on a high-level overview. And those of you that when we're finished with this, if you would like, prior to the company releasing this in our overall back office, you can email me at ted@totalsocialmedia.com. And for those authorized total social media salespeople, we will be releasing this document so you can immediately start going in and start utilizing this document to maybe offer a free analysis of someone's social media business, which is really exciting. I mean, how many businesses that you walk into are going to refuse a free analysis of their overall business? So we talk about the idea of basically having the script, what the intent of it is, things about building a relationship, the follow-up, the discipline. Then we start getting into overall scripts and start talking about individual telephone scripts that we'll actually provide for you in this specific document. We'll also go through and we'll go into individual lead scripts that we've got from cold call lead scripts. We'll also go into walk-in scripts that we have here. We talk about walk-in scripts. Hi, my name is Ted Robbins. I'm a Facebook marketing specialist with Suma Social or Total Social Media or whatever the individual business is that you're individually repping. And then when you go through this overall document here and you go through each one of the individual items here that you've got, you can see on each one of the individual pages on where you're able to look at individual links and how it's going to help you. And then we talk about performing an overall analysis for the company, because what we're talking about here is providing a free analysis for an individual that you've got on being able to come in and provide an analysis for an individual or a person to come in and talk about what they're maybe doing well on social media or not. So if you look at this very first item that you've got here, basically design that you've got, you'll notice that this also follows in our application would follow the very first item, design, here on the left hand side. So you're going to see where this is going to follow design, invite, engage, and convert on the actual document when you're going through the analysis and it matches it. So it says here for the very first item, does your cover image look professionally designed and properly represent your business? Check yes if the cover image is comparable to the professional one's design. There, you should have me back now. So now if you basically look at the overall design, that you have from our standpoint, is you should be able to look at the overall design and be able to check yes or no for that particular first question. The second one is your about section 100% complete and optimized for SEO. If it is optimized for SEO, you can answer yes or no. You can come in, have your professionally have you created a professional welcome tab? Yes or no. And you can see as you're basically going down through here that you've got where you can come down through this overall page here and look at these overall questions and answer them. Do you have a custom coupon offer for your business page? Yes or no. So you can see where we're having individual specific items that are on this page, and we come down to invite. And you come down to invite, you talk about the overall sweepstakes, professionally designed graphics, a cool prize to give away like an iPad, and there's basically 4 separate questions under the invite section. Then you come into the engage that you got. Are you posting engaging industry content? And it talks about the overall content that you're posting and looking at it. And again, you can either answer yes or no, and you can come down through these individual items here, answering yes or no. Talks about the creative images and the writing and whether or not people are actually posting individual content on their overall page that they've got. Then we get into the conversion section. Are you responding to every comment on the walls? Are you thanking everyone for your shares and your content? Are you responding to special offers? Yes or no? And you can work your way down through here, through this overall analysis. And again, I told you I wasn't going to read down through every single item. But then it talks about the individual talking points. If for some reason you answer no to those, and an individual business says, well, why did you give me a no for a particular item that you've got here? You're going to be able to look at the talking point and say, well, what are some responses or some things that I can basically use to explain why there was an answer to no to their individual point? And so we are basically going through each individual item that was up above and talking about them specifically if the answer was no, and giving you some idea as far as how to answer or what to do if the answer was no. So you can work your way down here, and it gives some really good talking points. You get in the conversion section. And then you come down to the actual analysis. Now this particular portion is actually the portion that would be filled out in front of a specific business. The upper portion you wouldn't show. That's more for the individual salesperson or the business owner to basically look at. But when you're sitting down or you're going to be giving a free analysis to somebody, you can basically come down through here and look at those same questions and basically just circle a yes or no for them or highlight it on their specific page. And then once you create a yes or no for each one of these overall questions, you're basically assigning 1 point for each. So you're going to have 1 point for each individual question that you've got. And you can see each one of the individual questions that there's going to be basically 20 questions that you have, giving them a total of 20 individual points. And then what you can come down that you've got is you can come down to each individual point. You can give them a total point of what their entire score was, what their entire analysis was, give some recommendations for each individual section. And this is what you're filling out for the individual person, the analysis, who you are, your contact information, allowing you to be able to, again, give this free analysis to the person. Then we come down to an overall glossary, giving you an idea for individual terms that might be necessary for a salesperson if they're new to this business and don't quite understand some of the nomenclature. You can come down here and look through the individual glossary and look through the individual items that will help you. Now this document here again is intended for a individual sales aide to go in and to give a free analysis, having that matched against our application, trying to provide value for that application. Now what I want to go ahead and do is go into an example in looking at these: design, invite, engage, and convert. And if I look at these, there's a lot of individual things like what we talked about that our system will do. You can, again, set up individual pages. You can set up and do multiple unlimited cover images. You can run individual, express tabs, which is intended to get a page up right away. welcome tabs, shopping tabs, which you can connect the shopping carts, contact us tabs, but you also have individual forms inside individual pages on other pages within here too, to where those can also go into the contact us section or the overall section for your CRM. Then you also have coupon tabs. We're getting into in the invite section for sweepstakes, so you can come into the overall sweepstakes section, come overall into the overall post and leap for the content, and then the overall leads, and then the overall learning session. So you're looking at each one of these individual sections, applying these with the overall document that we showed you here, on being able to come into this document and being able to analyze each one of these overall systems is really, really, really important and can really help you, again, when you're trying to give advice and you're trying to recommend on how our application would be able to help that specific business. The next thing I want to basically show you or take you through is if I go to an actual application. This is an application or a business that I've went to many, many, many times, and I don't do it to pick on them. I actually do a lot of business with this overall company, and I have a lot of admiration for them, but I like this because it's a very good example of ways that our application could help this specific business. And so when you look at this specific business that you've got and try to look at how can a social media application work really, really well for them. And things that I try to look at when I try to analyze a specific business on how we can help them is I try to look and see what their existence is today in the social media world and pretty much on the internet to tell me how palatable they are to change what they put into basically advertising. Like I might look in the local area, I might look in the yellow pages to look and see how much money they're spending, or are they even advertising in the yellow pages. I might go on the internet here and go to Google, and when I go in here to Google, I might go to Pasco Flowers. I might see what their ranking is, and I find out, oh well, they're ranked here for My Lucky Flowers #1. So I might go to their website, and I might look and see, are they connecting anything to their website today in social media, which they are, to their Facebook account, which I actually already have up over here. But if you look and see, okay, do they do any other social media stuff? Do they have any other links to YouTube, to any other channels that they have? So I'm able to look here and maybe give them some advice on other things that we can help connect for them. I look and see, do they change this content out with this e-commerce page that I know they do e-commerce through the overall page. So this is a way that we can basically try to connect some of our shopping cart pages to their existing shopping cart here and create overall pages. So I'm looking for on their Facebook page, and this is their Facebook page here, do they have a really great page that is a really great business page that talks about their overall company? How many likes do they have here? As an example, they have 900 friends that they've got here. And I notice that this overall page is a personal page that they've got. And let me see here. I got one quick question that came in. That's correct. That's correct, John. And John was really, really good to be able to notice that, who's actually on this call that he has. They're actually using a personal page for their business page. So that one of the very first things I would try to identify is really the difference between a personal page and a business page, and recommend that, after 5,000 friends that they've got from their side as an overall personal page, they're going to be basically maxed out that they have on their overall friends that they've got. It would be much more better for them in the long run to try to convert to a business page long term where they could have unlimited likes that they've got for themselves on their overall business page. So when you're looking at and you're seeing this deal here where they have friends, the business pages don't have friends that they've got. They have individual likes for your page, and then you market to those likes. So this is a great way to basically look at a page and say they're not even utilizing a business page for their main page. Other things you're able to notice here is like when someone uses a photo here, you can use other types of programs like Photoshop and other high-end programs, but a lot of people don't have the graphics capabilities to run those programs. They don't know Photoshop. They don't know that they can't put in text and overall pictures and colors on a specific image. So trying to add anything up here for a lot of businesses is very tough. Where our application, if you go into it, and you go into our cover images, you're able to see that with our cover images that you're able to do multiple things. You're able to do text, colors, and all different types of different things with our application, overlapping text that you've got, and many different types of things that you're not able to get that you've got with just by putting up a standard photo. So you look at the examples here where you're actually able to intertwine 3 separate pictures with a color background, with a color over the top, and then text over that. To try to do that particular portion in even Photoshop for someone to align to make all these examples all exactly the same would be very tough. So I would highly recommend that when you're talking to an overall business, that has a lot of value, because if you change out content on your cover photo, it will add for your individual business people, add a different look and feel. Maybe you can take one of these overall pictures that are in our application and utilize one of them for one of your people or your fans, or basically use all 3 of them for your fans, or maybe one of them you're going to use for a product, another one you're going to use for people in the back room stuffing flowers of your employees, and another one of someone actually getting some of your flowers. A really great way where right now if I go to this cover photo here and I look at this here, I might be confused. This is actually a wedding page versus a flower page or a flower company because of the content that I'm seeing here on the overall page. The other thing that I'm not seeing is the overall logo here that you've got, a logo that basically ties in the consistency. Also being able to go in and look and see, do they have that great business tab or that business page that's up? Are they linking to their overall shopping cart? Do they have any promotions that they're actually trying to give somebody promotions on the overall page, like with one of our coupons? Are they running any events? Have they been taught that they can actually run events and run maybe a just because event every Friday because flowers are perishable? Being able to use perishables and to be able to run every Friday an event that basically gets rid of your overstocked inventory that's still really good inventory, but it's going to basically go bad after a certain period of time is valuable. So why not show this company how to run a free Facebook event every Friday? Or maybe it's a haircutting place and you're going to teach them how to run a kids cut day to give more awareness that we do more than just women's hair, and you can bring in your kids and we cut your children's hair just as great as we would yours. So there's really lots of really great techniques of being able to go into a specific business and use specifically a lot of really great ideas to be able to do it. So when you look at our application here that you've got and you say, well, what can an overall business do and how can we help provide it for you? There's lots of things. I just talked about the coupon page. I just talked about a page that links to the overall shopping cart to run e-commerce. I talked about a page that talks about their specific business. You can create, even with our application, you can create a page that does all of those. You can create a page that links to their shopping cart and talks about their business and can maybe connect to, because I'm not seeing any other channels here for YouTube channels. Why not have people submit for this flower shop videos of people getting their flowers and have them submit it, and when you submit it, you actually get a coupon off for your very next order. And what they can do is actually use those coupons in their YouTube channel to help people and promote it on their front page for their YouTube channel. What a fantastic idea. So you start collecting all these ideas and you come into this from a sales cycle and say, we come into our application, and if you prep the sale properly by coming in, utilizing one of our design pages, and maybe you're utilizing one of our welcome pages here, where you can come in, and let me come into this for a second. And come into one of our design pages here. And you can utilize one of our pages for a multi-purpose page. Let me actually go to the carousel here. And you can come in here to these individual pages, and you can come in and design maybe this one here where you actually have the links to their shopping cart, to their other channels that they've got, some other videos of their people. You can put some of the videos, you can put some testimonials by people actually submitting their videos. You can actually put them on the website on how people just love all the different types of flowers that they do. You could put wedding flowers, you could put just special flowers that you could do. The other thing that you need to recognize is this content can be changed very easily, and I happen to know that this company here, My Lucky Flowers, changes their website on a frequent basis. So for Valentine's Day, this will actually change to more of a red theme, and when they come towards the end of the year, towards Christmas, they will change that theme. So if you pay attention, you say, well, do you change your website? Do you change the look and feel of it on a frequent basis? The answer for this company would be yes, I change it all the time. Well, you can show them with our application where we actually have the ability for that person without knowing programming to come in and change this application out that they've got, or can change their look and feel all the time. And again, they can put up a very professional page that talks about their specific company that they've got, really highlighting and being able to tie into their Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Well, the other thing I want to talk about here is looking at their page for content. So we've talked about and noticed that they're not doing maybe the best job about a professional page for themselves. They can have help with the cover page. They can help them out with all the different tabs here that I just mentioned for you. Now let's come down here and talk about content a little bit. And again, pardon me here with my page here. Let me come up here. And as you look at their content, they're not doing a bad job with content. You look at see that people are actually posting up pages for them. And they're coming down here and they're taking individual powers and they're saying thank you for the individual flowers, and they're commenting. You're getting people with different likes that are talking about their specific page. They're not doing a bad job. They have 900 people that they've got that are, again, friends of theirs that they've got for it. And again, they're getting photos and they're coming in here and they're being active on their overall page. So what we can maybe help them out with, since you know that they're used to posting in here that they've got, is let's give them, because you look at the posts that are here. Yeah, John's got a really good comment here that Facebook offers a function that will convert a personal page to a fan page that converts friends to likes. And that's a very, very, very good point, John, that Facebook does offer that functionality that you've got, so you can come in here and take those individual friends that you've got and ask them and basically convert those overall friends and ask those overall people, hey, would you like to basically join or be converted to my business page? I have a brand new business page that's up. And so it's a way to invite all of those people to your brand new business page. So those are the types of things that are for free, that as a social media specialist, as you come into them and say, hey, we can invite people that are your friends to this overall page that you've got. It's a function that's inherent within Facebook that you've got. It's great for you to be able to utilize that. And again, I appreciate you, John, and coming here and tag teaming with me in your comment section. And again, if anybody else has any additional comments, you can comment and throw some additional comments here with me. I love people that are very knowledgeable like John that can come in here and also add some other value add to this overall webinar. But being able to come in here that you've got and you look at the comments, you need to look and see whether or not these comments are posted by an overall person that is one of their friends or whether or not it's Lucky Flowers themselves. Because you also need to look at overall links. And if you're trying to build your business organically that you've got, being able to link maybe if they have a blog or to other places, it's going to be more than just individual content, but also individual linking with actual links to those individual channels, other people's pages, also offering up other types of things where we offer in our Post and Leap system that we have. We actually offer a way for people to basically throw up individual trivia. So when you're able to come into an overall library, what a lot of people and what statistically has been proven is that just talk about shop or just talk about your business is not as proficient or as healthy to keep engagement on your page as is other types of things on your page like trivia. So if you just are on your page and you're talking about business, 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 if you talk about other things, throw up maybe some other things that are very funny or comical or different things that you have, it can also be very much value add for your particular business. So the unique thing about our application for Total Social Media is that we actually will tailor for a flower shop ways that you can get custom content already pre-written in a library, and you can utilize some of that content today. You can change some of that content that you have if I'm a flower shop and use some of your own. You can make a mixture. You can schedule it out, and we'll do posts anywhere around the world in any time zone. You can basically post that up. But you see where we actually have a trivia section, and we'll actually import this library. But a lot of companies in social media that are just building companies try to promote, let's just go ahead and get a single page up for you. And that's where I'm trying to tell you here today, and why we're trying to talk about this application here, where we actually have a sales system as a company. We have a way to teach our salespeople through Total Social Media. Here's a way where we're going to help you with all this, and a way for you to give a free analysis that actually matches our application. But being able to come to this, it's more than that. We're here into educating. We have 3 live webinars every single week. We're talking about different topics. We have ways for businesses to come in and basically be interactive in a really great elite group that we have. We have ways for you to come into our interface that we've got and learn from each other. We have some really great designers that are out there that are building new pages every single day, and they'll often throw those new designs or new pages up for people to be able to look at. So when you look at the synergy and the value, especially for our tool for $50 a month through Total Social Media, it's really, really great because a business can come in and be able to manage their specific business or more businesses. This is where also during the sales cycle, you might want to ask and add into your sales cycle for this particular business and ask that business owner, do you own multiple businesses? Don't fall short on that, because with our application, that business owner can actually monitor multiple business pages, and it's unlimited. So a person can come in and be the administrator of multiple business profiles, can create unlimited post and leap for unlimited post and leap pages, can create unlimited cover photos. They can create 2 specific tabs under each one of our categories, one under a 520 width and another one under an 810. So right now, if I can create 2 express tabs, 2 welcome tabs, 2 shopping tabs, 2 contact us tabs, and 2 coupon tabs. Again, as long as one of them is a 520 and another one is an 810, I can create 2 within each individual page. Most people and most companies won't use but more than 2 and 3, because you have to remember that when you're in here, as a business, when you get into a business page, you're not going to be able to alter anything other than 3 individual tabs. This first one here is going to be reserved for your first photos, which your photos you're not going to be able to change if this was a business profile. Then these next 3, you're able to switch the positions. Now you're able to have all these other positions and things that you're able to offer other pages, and you're able to swap those to put up fresh content on your overall page. But as an overall business, most businesses won't use more than a few individual tabs. We have a whole bunch of different tabs you can utilize with Total Social Media, a whole bunch of different looks and feels, and you can move around content on the page. The other great thing that you can do to promote for this overall business is how are you collecting individual leads. Let's say that you are posting up a coupon, and for this flower shop, I would also recommend that they offer POS discounts, which stands for point of sale discounts, for coupons for someone liking their specific page at the cash register. I would have a sign up on the front of the cash register saying, if you like my Facebook page right now, and if it was me, I own the business, I would even have a small kiosk there where they could go in and do it right there instead of having to do it through their smartphone. But I would say, if you like my page today and you could show me that you logged in and liked my page, I'll give you a discount right now for 20% at the cash register. A lot of companies are utilizing that type of technology, and there's actually some new technology that's coming out through some new couponing technology through Facebook, which it's being in beta right now through Facebook. But Facebook is also betaing some new technology, which is using their Facebook Places to actually work at the point of sale location, where you can come in through Facebook Places and can redeem a coupon in person that you've got in store, and it will actually, it's kind of a viral thing and actually goes into your news feed. You can push that coupon to your friend. That's something new that Facebook is actually testing right now that they have from their side. But where our coupon is very valuable is like in the virtual side, where you can utilize a discount and put a coupon code through our coupons online without having to be in person. You can do that at any given time. You can change up a new coupon every single week. But I would be sending to these 900 friends, if I was My Lucky Flowers, I'd be posting to those individual friends. I would be pushing up a new coupon every single week. I'd be running events in person, where I would be running a special event every Friday for like a Just Because. I would go to all the moms and all the dads, or all the husbands and the wives, and say, come by every Friday between 5 to 7 o'clock and have a Just Because, and we're running a special. Either get a free flower or come in and we're running a 50% off on yellow roses, or whatever the special might be. Also realize and promote to that business owner, if you can use the events to run special events to your people every single week, you can also sell other things in your store. Please also notice that a flower shop sells other things than flowers. They sell sometimes cards, they sell books, chocolates. They sell all different types of things in flower shops these days, not just flowers. So tell them if you can use other types of social media techniques to get them inside the door and to get them to like your page, you can run special events to get them in to do more transactions with your overall company and bring more revenue in the door. Because again, it's about the ROI. It's about getting them not just to be fancy in social media, but to create a return on investment. And that's what we're going to do for you with our application with Total Social Media, and how we're going to train you. We're going to teach you to have different techniques like today of being able to go into a specific business and to be able to suggest to them things that they should be doing better or worse. It's things like being able to take their specific page or our page and adding video. Like we can add video through these testimonials in these overall posts. Being able to change up these posts and content. Being able to run an actual event and being able to take an event and stretch it all the way across your page that you have. Being able to pin individual items. Being able to do all these individual items and things through the application is very important. The other thing that when you're talking to an individual business is getting them to realize that we have built in within our system, on top of all the coupons and all the other really, really great things and all the different content that we've got from our side, we also have an area for leads. So when someone's able to go into for an overall lead section, that individual leads can come into your area through any of the other forms or the overall sweepstakes. Now let's talk about sweepstakes for a second. We offer a sweepstaking application, and let me actually go to it here. Let me go to Battle on the Columbia, which is actually one of our businesses. You see where you have the sweepstakes page here? When they offer the sweepstakes page up here, most businesses to run a sweepstakes would have to go and actually get a Facebook sweepstakes application. It would cost them in the upwards of $50 to $75. They would have to create a specific sweepstakes. In some cases, for a complete custom sweepstakes, even high as I've heard of even $2,000. But being able to create a sweepstakes where you have to create the sweepstakes, create all the rules for that, buy the individual prize and ship it, costs money. What we do as a company for Total Social Media is we take all of the businesses that are using our platform and this application, and we do a drawing every single month where our company, not that business, but our company will give away a couple prizes. In this case, we're giving a couple iPads away. Here very shortly, we're going to be giving away other types of prizes also. And for the business, they can actually choose what their individual prizes are. But right now, we give about $1,000 worth of prizes away every single month that is no cost to this business. Now, it isn't to say that this specific business is going to be the lucky winner. Now, they can promote that you like my page, and when you go into this, if you haven't liked this page already, it's going to ask you to like the page, and once you like the page, you can actually go in and you can actually share it with the overall person that you've got, and there's a whole bunch that you can do as an end user that you've got. Like if I come in here and unlike this as an example, let me just unlike it for you, just give you a quick example here. If you unlike that, this is what's going to happen when you press the button. It's going to force you to like their page before you can actually enter the sweepstakes. So as soon as I liked this overall page, I just liked it. Now it changes the page for me where now I can enter into the sweepstakes for this business. See all these rules here? This is something a business would normally have to be filled out by the business, but it's automatically filled out with our application. Now you get to basically capture this person. I'm going to put in Ted Robbins. I'm going to put in tedrobbins@hotmail.com, and I enter the information. Now the really cool thing is I can actually share this. So now I can actually share this with one of my friends that I've got. Hey, this was a really cool sweepstakes here. I can actually share it that I've got. But let's say I want to go ahead and view the business page now. So now I can actually go back to the main business that I have, and I've entered that sweepstakes. That information now will actually come into this area here. If I refresh my screen, now I've got a collection of all of my individual leads for an individual business. You'll see here on August 24th, this lead just came into here. The same thing with all of our business pages. You'll notice that we'll say custom tabs. It will give their phone number and their message. If we have a phone number and message, it will actually display those if that information is on the form. But when you look at everything that you have here, and that's just in the building of it, now let's talk about even more value for $50 a month and how you can help this company. Many companies, and especially like a presentation like this where we went through a lot of information, a lot of companies can get confused. So the value to that business is, well, I'm really busy. I don't have time to go through all this right now. The other thing that we have is a really great learning center where they can come in here and they can do things that they've got, and they have 24-hour access where they can come in here and learn about our application. They can see some really great videos and some really great content in here where they can come in here and learn about their overall business. But even more importantly, we have forums, live calls, and ways for a specific business to not only learn, but to ask questions. And typically when you engage, because we are a virtual social media agency that actually backs our software up with a live agency. And with our live agency, we're able to give support to individual businesses and people for people that might have specific questions, and we're able to help those businesses throughout many different types of processes. Like an engagement ad. Let's say that you wanted to write a special engagement ad that's like a pay-per-click campaign in Google. If you wanted to write an engagement ad in Facebook and you need help with that, we'll help you with that. So you need to basically come in that you've got into our environment and realize that for $50 a month, that we'll offer other types of things that we have for our overall application that we'll be able to give away and to really help an overall business that we've got from our side that is much more the value of the $50, much more than any other application that's out there today. It's one reason why this application is patent pending, and why it's so important for companies to realize that this is a big value and it goes much further than just our application, but it's about being a resource and telling people how they can even connect right here. You can connect your Twitter account to your Facebook account to where when people do make a post in Facebook, it will also go on their Twitter account. There's many other types of things and so many things that we could go on this call. I know that we've been running about 37 minutes on this call today. So we're going to basically call it in for this individual call today. I know we went through a lot, including this information on our new total social media sales system. Again, if you're looking for this sales system and you want it early, prior to us posting this live to all of our individual sales agents, you can email me at ted@totalsocialmedia.com and I can send this to you. But again, I'd like to thank everyone for being on the call. Let me see if there's any question here. Yeah, one individual question that comes through is, the question is here is, some of my business friends are not convinced that Facebook or social media in general is worth their time or money. What would you say to them? My response to them would be that the option and the business issue still does not go away. And if you try to look at how I'm going to communicate to my overall clients, no matter what business you're in, and I'm trying to say, is it worth my time? I don't know of another more proficient way for individual businesses that are out there today to be able to communicate with their individual clients and people. I don't know of a more efficient way. And I would basically suggest to them and say, how are you communicating with your clients today? Are you calling them all on the phone? Are you emailing each one of the individual people? Are you trying to redirect them back to just your website? How are you communicating with those individual people, and how are you trying to build brand loyalty? So it's more than just having a fancy app or trying to create or connect e-commerce to those individual pages, even though that's a big value and I can sell that to a lot of individual people all day long, because it's statistically proven that when you're in a friend's environment and people trust Facebook, the people if they know, and trust you more, like in a Facebook environment, they're more apt to do business. Just like if I'm across the table with you and you're saying, Ted, I really like your phone that you're using there. What kind of phone's that? And I tell you the type of phone. The next time you go for a phone and look at a phone, you might buy that brand because you know, and trust me. The same thing in this environment in Facebook. It's one of the few environments where you can get to know, and trust a brand and people that you've got. And it's much more efficient than it is through email or through phone calls. So I would suggest, John, to those people, if you're going to make a brand new product announcement, and many people have a brand new product, or they have something that's great that's going on with their company, or you have a brand new employee that's being that just came on board, how are you announcing that, and how are you basically taking that individual announcement and making that aware for all your individual clients? And the answer to that is that there's no more proficient way than posting that in a Facebook environment, because it's more virally shared. It's more easily receptive than email. less people, and again, it's statistically proven, and I can show you individual case studies. John, I don't have them here handy right here in front of me, but there's a lot of case studies that talk about the people that are willing to open up their email from an overall company versus being able to utilize social media and logging into their Facebook account or logging into their account to be able to talk and communicate in that environment. Just the adaptability and the people to work in those specific areas is proven to work more. So if you're having trouble with specific clients or people, I would bring in statistics like that are showing that you can use it for more than just that. Like you can use it as a communication device. You can use it as a customer service device. You can use it, Facebook, as a way to make as an emergency preparedness plan. There's food companies out there today that need to be using Facebook because if they have an emergency within their company, specifically with food, you need to be able to get that word out as quickly as possible to as many people as possible. And social media is more of a proficient way of doing it. The other thing to look at is the individual cost. Try to match the specific cost against our application and trying to launch a campaign in social media, John. Have them compare it against their efforts, like for the Yellow Book pages as an example. The cost to be able to do it, if you're an attorney or you're a lawyer, you could spend upwards as $50,000 to $100,000 a year in advertising that you've got, versus doing it in maybe a lower cost-effective way through social media. So from my side, I'm really excited. You can actually hear it in my voice when someone asks me that question. I love that question. When someone says, well, I really don't know how social media can be that effective, or I really don't believe in it yet. I mean, I see the commercials and maybe there's an ROI at some level. But if you get them to truly believe, to look past of just an overall post and to try to sell it more as a communication device, an announcement device, a way to be more personable with your employees, a way to make it better for announcements, a way to push individual discounts and coupons, and a way to push new products, and a way for another professional environment, and also phrase it that really this medium of social media is really like the old web pages, where an individual web page for an individual company where everyone asked, do you have a web page up? And now everyone's saying, do you have a Facebook page up? And it's getting more and more towards that. It isn't there 100% yet, but it's getting there where people are saying, what is your Facebook page? Or what is your social media page? So being able to show that personality within there, and I hope that answers your question, John, that you've got. But I love that question when people ask that, because I'm so passionate about there's so many different ways to use social media as a really proficient tool, much more than any other medium that's out there today. If I have an announcement and I have 1,000 clients, I'm not going to sit on the phone and call all 1,000 clients. I'm going to call maybe the 80-20 rule, call the top 20 clients, the top 200 clients, and what am I going to do with the rest of them? I don't have enough time in the day to physically call them, so I'm going to email them. Most people aren't going to open up their business email. So then what are you going to go ahead and do? You're going to mail them? So then you're going to try to go out with a mailer that you have. So when you start looking at the different mediums and the different ways, that's why large companies like Coca-Cola all the way down are throwing so much money into social media, because it's so much more proficient than anything out there today. Again, are there any other questions that are out there today that people might have? Great. Thanks so much for your participation today, John. I want to thank everyone for being on this webinar today. Again, it is 14 past the hour. I do want to thank everyone for being here. I hope that some of this information was very valuable to you today, and we'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you so much.